So this is just the archive. A lot of people have these old Ford tractors. This is a Ford 850 from the mid 60s, I think. Don't quote me on it. Might be late 50s. And as you can see, this has been repainted, although it's lost a little bit of its coat. But new gauges installed. And a lot of times the question is, well, what do I do with this wiring harness that you get? And I'm just trying to show you some pictures, some ideas of what it looks like, and point some things out. And unfortunately, we got a lot of high contrast lighting. We got a dog barking in the background. There's your 12-volt battery. Your 12-volt line goes up to this side of the solenoid. I used a Cole Hersey till ends in a 5.9. It's 21059 or something like that. I'll put the part number in the description. 85 amp continuous duty solenoid. It's a pretty standard solenoid. You can buy them for about 30. I got a good deal on if I bought 4 of them that were new old stock. These are sort of the bog standard. There's a lot of Chinese imitation solenoids out there that just aren't made very well. So consider using a good solenoid. Then you've got the output to the starter. When you get your rewiring accomplished, wrap that terminal and disconnect it from the starter and wrap it up so that you can hear this go ka-chunk ka-chunk when you turn it on, and verify that everything is working other than the actual starter turning over. And then my other advice is, if you haven't been running it for a while, disconnect the ignition and just turn it over several times. You might have to recharge the battery just to get the oil and stuff lubricated in there first before you actually go to start it. Here we've used a sort of conventional key switch. I know they make one that's specifically for this, but essentially you can see it says marked on here, and we have a little guide for ACC off, where you can pull the key out, on, and then start. Now we're not using the start feature here because we have this button here. You have to put the tractor in neutral, and what this does is it grounds out the power that goes to this starter, grounds out, and this wire goes to this, and that engages the starter. So 12-volt power from here comes off of this. You very well may have to replace this 2-terminal setup here. This is switched power, and this is always on power. So you can see that this is the new wiring harness stuff. I've had to add a few wires, but pretty much this is the prepackaged 12-volt and 6-volt. It's a split wiring harness. It comes in 2 pieces. It's confusing because the tractor was originally 6. Now this one has the generator, the 12-volt generator, and interestingly, if you buy a modern 6-volt generator from Amazon, they're actually 12-volt. So it essentially does the 12-volt upgrade for you without having to switch to an alternator. Here you've got a start switch on. You've got power to the start switch over here. Hope you can see that down underneath. Not this terminal, but the one down below. Power comes in, and it's marked on the back of this. It'll show you. And I'll try to shoot that for you. Blip, blip. See if we can do that. Show you a different orientation. Go around the tractor. Unfortunately, the sun is a pain in the ass today, so as per usual, either not enough or too much of it. But the constant power, which is, it's the feed. Where's the feed for this? It's kind of hard to see, but this is wired into this terminal, and then this yellow wire is going. Yeah, I think it's yellow wire. This big heavy wire that used to be yellow at one time is going to the battery. And so when you turn this to the on position, this terminal gets power, which then feeds this wire, which goes over here. And then there's an extra wire coming off of here that goes to the front that doesn't have a destination. Maybe it's a start wire for an alternator if you had an alternator set up. I just have it taped off. So when you turn it to the on position, this gets power, and that allows you to be able to close this with this. And I'll try to upload some pictures to Google Drive and put a link in there so you got some stills to work off of.
Hey guys, how you doing? Doing good. Friendly?